everyone, and welcome back to a brand new day of Road to TCG Worlds 2019. Thank you so much for joining me today. As you can see, we have a Buzzwole Pheromosa based deck. I was very impressed by how a single Buzzwole Pheromosa performed in the Vileplume deck, which really made me reconsider and generally think that this deck had a lot of potential. Obviously, fire decks, they're gonna be really difficult to beat as we only have Buzzwole Pheromosa as our only attacker. Same for anything that, like, if they play down one Hoopa, you've essentially lost the game. However, how common will those archetypes be? I am not sure. Well, fire is obviously going to be very popular, but I do think Pheromosa and Buzzwole GX's time to shine was right before or in a meta without fire, right? Which Japan did get. But unfortunately, we got Buzzwole Pheromosa in conjunction with all the fire type, support cards, and powerful GXs. So then this card just ended up not being as great. At 260 HP, that's a huge amount, and Ultra Beast, which is really useful for B-string targets. And we have Jet Punch dealing 30 to the active, 30 to the bench. Cool Jet Punch with choice bands and beast energies. You can increase that damage output. Next up, we have Elegant Soul, which deals 190 damage, and then the next turn, your base damage is 60, which is not that big a deal, because with Jet Punch, you should be making sure that everything gets softened up to the point where Elegant Soul gets a knockout, and even retreating, especially on the B-string turn, doesn't have or shouldn't be that big of an issue. Beast Game GX does allow you to take an extra prize card, right, if your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out by damage from this attack, for a single grass. And then in the weird scenario where you are able actually to get 8 energy onto Buzzwole Pheromosa, not very common but definitely possible through B-string, you would be able to get an extra 3 prizes instead of just 1. So potentially a very dangerous attack, can only be achieved through the use of quad B-string in one turn or triple B-string, more reliable. 2 Mismagius with its Mysterious Message ability, you knock it out and then you draw until you have 7 cards, so you will be gifting cards to your opponent, but we do have Judge to limit their hands, and that does mean we have control over when B-string and if B-string gets activated. So definitely a pretty cool combo right there. Now we have the Greens Exploration Engine with 4 greens and 2 build analysis along with 1 Ericas. We also have healing in the form of Iserola. We have Lieutenant Surge's strategy because with Mismagius and the fact that we give up 3 prizes, we might end up being quite a bit behind in a lot of different situations. And then we have 2 Judge and 1 Guzma for support. Okay, so items wise, we have 4 custom catcher to make sure that we're targeting the right Pokemon. That's why we have the lesser Guzma count. We have our 4 B-strings, our 4 beautiful B-strings, in order to power up our Buzzwole Pheromosa, and we can activate them once or with our Mismagiuses as well if we need to by knocking both of them out. That's why we have 4 Dustone as well. 4 actually seems a little bit overkill, so I'm gonna take 1 out for a build analysis actually. We do have 4 Nest Balls to search for the basic Pokemon. We have triple Power Plant to limit abilities, which should be very useful. And we have 4 Pokegears to make sure that our consistency is through the roof. 1 Life Forest to make knocking out Buzzwole Pheromosa even harder. And then a very healthy amount of 11 energy, including the Beast, along with 2 Choice Bands. So let's make sure we save the changes to the deck. And let's jump into a ladder and see if we can get some wins with Buzzwole Pheromosa here. Okay. So we're looking for an opponent. See what we get here. We're up against, I would assume, a Pikarom based deck, so this should be interesting. Yeah, Battle of the Giant tag teams. Okay, so obviously we start with our Buzzwole Pheromosa pretty nicely. And we have a very nice setup here to where we can activate. We have the potential to activate B-String, in fact. Going second, which might not be a bad choice to just outright KO this Mew. Honestly, with Elegant Soul. We do see the Nest Ball, so gonna be bypassing that. Does establish the Reshiram and Charizard, so that's pretty sad to see. We're definitely not gonna be beating this Reshiram and Charizard deck because at best we 2-hit KO the Reshiram and Charizard, and that means we need like double Pheromosa, double Buzzwole Pheromosa with double B-Strings and stuff. So yeah, my opponent gets the attachment, gets a raw turn 1 Kiawe from hand. Reminds me of the day Unbroken Bonds came out. Okay, so I definitely don't think we're going to be able to win this match. 1v3 is his prize, so we actually can't activate B-String, which is obviously not great. We also can't damage the bench, so the fact that my opponent started with the Mew is really, really, really bad news. Right? Really, really, really bad news. I'm going to go ahead and play the stadium. I'm going to go ahead and evolve my Mismagius. And then I'm going to go Green's Exploration. I won't because I already evolved, so never mind. I will have to use Mismagius. That was a big misstep on my part. Not a great start for us. Now I'm able to use the Green's Exploration, but I don't see how we are going to be able to survive this onslaught of firepower that is about to come our way. Yeah, I mean, I guess I won't give up just to show how badly my opponent is about to rock my world. I do get a fire, I mean an energy. I do think grabbing greens again could be good. Although I also don't have a way to find energy. It's just this drawing both Dust Stones is just really, really sad. If this had 50 HP, then GXing wouldn't be the end of the world, but we're gonna have to hit for a measly 30 damage Jet Punch, and the 30 damage to the bench does get prevented by the Mew. Okay. So there's the energy for their easy retreat. I assume we're gonna get Flare Striked, and yeah, there's just no way, right? He goes Flare Strike, we hit for whatever, 190 maybe, and then we get GX for game, so, or Outraged for game. So I'm not gonna bother playing that out. I do see the benefit of maybe playing a thicker Mismagius line to avoid pricing issues. The triple Dust Zone ended up being super awkward right there. I made a slight misstep by evolving and then playing greens, rather than playing greens first and then evolving. Not the biggest of deals, but we do seem to be up against another fire type deck. So when I play the water type decks, I don't run into the fire types. When I play the fire weak deck, I do run into them. Now, if this was Vileplume, it would be a completely different story. Maybe the only and most viable way to play Buzzwole Pheromosa is through the use of Vileplume, so you have that extra coverage. Yeah, but I definitely don't think we're gonna have much of a chance here, and especially like going second is just absolutely terrible, right? Going second is just absolutely terrible for this deck in particular. Not like we have a chance against one Regisard, but oh well. We're still gonna try, and yep, we're up against a fire deck. We're either still gonna try or we're gonna keep at it until we find a non-fire matchup. But you can see how this deck is just not viable at all. As long as fire is viable, and fire should be viable for the next foreseeable future. Like Reshiram Charizard, I can see being a relevant card for the next 2 years, right? I can see Reshiram and Charizard being an actual archetype with Welder for as long as they are in the standard format. So yeah, I don't see any reason why that wouldn't work here. Okay. So we see the Heat Factory. My opponent taking a while to make his moves. You know, this is most of the time, especially early on, a very straightforward deck. I once again don't have energy, right, which is really sad. The only way I could have some hope is if my opponent just passes here, which he doesn't. I guess he was trying not to Welder onto a Turtonator. We do see the Jirachi, so still no Charizard in sight, which is nice, I guess. Which is definitely nice. The Power Plant is going to be useful to deter Tapu Leles and Tetenes. Yeah, my opponent taking a while and not doing much on his very first turn. So we're going to go ahead and Bill's Analysis. The Judge is definitely tempting, but I think Bill's Analysis is just better. It could have given me a chance at finding a Nest Ball to find Mismagius to just draw more cards and find an energy. Unfortunately, that is not going to be the case. Right, that is not going to be the case. I'll definitely replace this, and missing an attack is just really sad here. It's generally really sad to miss an attack right there. Didn't seem like my opponent had much going on for him either, so slow start for both, but we're definitely at a big disadvantage. Definitely at a big disadvantage. The Power Plant does get replaced, so now we're guaranteed an energy, which is very nice of my opponent. Very, very nice of my opponent for sure. And we're gonna see a Fired Flint. Discarding Kiawe and Guzma. We're definitely gonna see another Welder here, I have to assume, right? Should be seeing another Welder here. Yep, there's a Welder. The Power Plant would have stopped that Lele. There's the Reshizard. We see the stadium being used, and I think, yeah, I'm just gonna let this one go. It's gonna be the same situation as the previous game. So let's see if we can find a non-fire matchup, which allows us to do a little bit more. And their start has also been pretty awkward, so that also has not helped our case here. We'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. So, okay. Finally, I don't think we're up against a Fire-type deck, but I do believe we are up against Weezing. So not sure how this matchup will end up playing out. We will end up mulliganing, and my opponent will as well, so that evens out nicely, which is good. Now we have double Pheromosa, right? Something that was pretty key and that we're missing, and we're up against Malamar actually. So is this Malamar Dugong based on, like, that has been getting a bit of talk? What other water type Pokemon could you possibly be running in this deck? Maybe Rotom Frost, but that's about it. Okay, so not bad. We do have the 2/2 Mismagius line, so I could actually activate B-String sometime soon if I wanted to, right? I will go ahead and evolve into Mismagius. And then I'm gonna go ahead and bench the other guy, attach to the active, and I do think using Mismagius here is good. Yeah, I give my opponent an extra card, not the biggest of deals, especially if I can judge him, right, on turn 1. And then this Pokegear will determine if I'm willing to do that. I do get the judge, which is awesome. My opponent pretty happy either by my play or by either by my current play or the fact that he's playing against us. Lieutenant Surge's strategy, and we're gonna go ahead and judge him. See if we can get another supporter off of that. Not really, right? Not really. So the Lieutenant Surge's strategy ends up being a bit of a waste. And now we are in a little bit of trouble. So I am going to play the Custom Catcher to draw extra cards. I have to find another one and then we'll pass. Bit of a slower start. We do manage to judge after using these Magias, so not the biggest of deals. My opponent going for an Acrobyte. The power plant could end up being useful to stop a Tapu Lele research from my opponent, but he shouldn't be playing too many abilities from GXs other than Lele. Maybe Marshadow GX. Once again, not very relevant. We do see the Inkay. We do see the replacement stadium. And we do see it being used to grab an energy, understandably so. And there's a Mysterious Treasure, so the power plant could have made a difference. No, he goes for the Mew to stop my bench sniping and just has the Cynthia. Okay, so obviously not great. Obviously not great. Okay. Okay, so Acerola potentially useful. I do think I should take advantage of using the stadium, however, to just make sure that I have energy every single turn here. I will go ahead and power up the benched person, and then I will replace the stadium once again, and I'll play another Custom Catcher. Finding Bill's analysis, which could prove very useful, especially the Guzma could end up being key in targeting down that Mew at some point. Because yeah, like honestly, the Mew is the most annoying card right now for us. The Mew is definitely the most annoying card for us right now. We see the Mysterious Treasure for a Malamar. Yeah, this deck, it feels super slow though. Definitely feels worse than Gardevoir Sylveon in many instances. Yeah, like I can Guzma, but then I still don't knock out the Mew, which is really sad. Does lose the Rescue Stretcher, which can be good news for us. Right, can be good news for us. But yeah, we're basically like against Malamar, you really need to apply pressure as much as you can. 30 damage to the active is not a lot of pressure. Yeah, if it had been the Beast Energy, then maybe we'd be talking. Yeah. However, not when it's looking like this. We'll go ahead and Psychic Recharge, however, onto the Ditto, I assume. It doesn't have much going for him, really. No, onto the Mew, interestingly enough. I mean, perhaps for a retreating option, that's not a bad call. But other than that, doesn't seem like a great call either. Okay, so now it's our turn. I will go ahead and Nest Ball, because I generally wouldn't mind activating B-String, I think. Well, I don't want to do it this turn, however. I don't think I want to do it this turn. I will Green's Exploration. I could just draw an extra card. With the Dust Stone. And what else? Do I just want another Nest Ball? Probably not. Not the Nest Ball. I mean, if I can Counter Catcher, KO the Mew, I'll take that, I think. Right, I do think I'll take that. So this will activate B-String, which is nice. But still have to go through two more of these guys. I should have attached first. That was a bit silly. No follow-up here. Right, no follow-up. I mean, there is a chance I can go B-String, B-String, a Beast Game next turn. Oh, I actually could have used Beast Game to get 4 prizes off of this Inkay. Oh my gosh, I should not have grabbed the custom catcher. I actually could have used Beast Game for 8 prizes. I mean for 4 prizes. That would have been so nice. That would have actually been so nice. Actually no, I wouldn't have had enough energy in my deck to pull that off. So I'm just gonna go ahead and Jet Punch. Bit underwhelming. We do have the response to an Ultra Grosma, but a second one is just gonna be too big of an issue. It's just gonna be too big of an issue. We do see the Ultra Ball. My opponent will have the retreat with the Mew. Dugong gets discarded, so it is Malamar Dugong for whatever reason. There's the third Malamar. Only one Psychic, I believe, in the discard ball. Yes, and the Dedenne, we might be actually actively stopping the Dedenne with a Power Plant, which is really good. Right, that is really good news. And then we see the Cynthia getting played. I'm hoping my opponent's attack will be place 3 damage counters. That would be a dream. Oh, what? He finds Ultra Ball. He finds Ultra Ball and 2 Psychics raw off of the Cynthia. That is just insane. That is actually insane to see. Because coincidentally, 230 damage. I mean, 130 damage is enough to 2-hit KO our poor Buzzwole Pheromosa. I do have the Acerola, right, to heal that damage. And here's the thing, like, whoever he places the 40 damage to, whoever he places the 40 damage to will be okay, because then we will have the KO with Beast Game on that, right? Unless he places it on himself, which also makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna Acerola, right? Definitely gonna Acerola that guy. And then B-String. I could Beast Game next turn for 8 prizes. If there was a good target, however, there isn't one. So I'll attach. And then I don't expect my Buzzwole Pheromosa to go down, so I'm just gonna Elegant Soul here. Take this knockout. I think the stadium is actually putting in work. I'm not sure 100%, but I do think it is putting work. And then I might just go greens for Custom Catcher to KO the Mew next turn. That might end up being my play. He will be able to attack with another Giratina, which is not great. Does decide to play a Rescue Stretcher to put back an Inkay. I don't mind that. If I had Beast Energy, this would be a completely different story. There's the Giratina. The 1 damage counter will not matter. Yeah, it definitely will not matter. Okay. Triple Psychic Recharge. If we had 30 damage elsewhere, maybe on the Mew. Or if we had 30 damage elsewhere, then this wouldn't be so bad. Should be putting this damage onto himself. Yes, he does. And so, there's the Beast Energy. Actually, there is the Beast Energy for Beast Game. So, I believe that will be our play. Right? Should I knock out the Mew though? I should, I think, because that takes away the free retreater. Right? It does take away the free retreater. And yeah, I'm just gonna Beast Game, get myself 2 prizes, and then my opponent might be in a little bit of a desperate situation here. I do need my second Acerola though, or at the very least my Life Forest would be great. Life Forest would actually be insanely good, and that's probably gonna be the card that I need, or that I want next turn. If I can take 1 KO, if my opponent doesn't knock me out, which I don't think he will be able to, I should be able to win the game, right? With 2 Buzzwole Pheromosas powered up, him at 4 prizes, and everything being in range of Elegant Soul except for Gengar Mimikyu, outside of the Beast Energy. Buzzwole Pheromosa. We'll see, we'll see. Just go for the Mew. I don't mind that. Like, if he benches that, we're guaranteed to win. Yes, we're guaranteed to win. My opponent was too afraid of the Jet Punch, which didn't come into play at all. Yeah. There's nothing to fear anymore from my opponent. His bench is full, so we don't care about having the Power Plant out there stopping abilities. Well, whatever he benches, it's fine as well. He can now damage his own Malamars, which is fine. I will go ahead and grab the Custom Catcher, grab the Life Forest. He sends the Preemptive. Well played. I'm hoping that's not because I'm about to lose, right? I'm really hoping it's not because I'm about to lose, and there we go. There's a victory for ourselves. We do manage to win a game with this deck against a non-fire deck, and so let's see if we can repeat that once more. Yeah, we never had a chance against 2 fire decks, so I figured why waste our time. And then we are here with a win under our belt against a non. Against a non-fire type deck, and now we seem to be against another grass deck, interestingly enough, with dark type. So if the dark type is Hoopa, to say we are in trouble would be an understatement. So I will be starting with Buzzwole Pheromosa. I will not be benching the Mischievous to not give out any more information. My opponent will mulligan, so we will find out what he's running here. And yeah, this is Mill. This is Vileplume based Mill, so I'm fairly certain we're not gonna be able to win this match. Yep, Vileplume Hoopa based Mill. Obviously not great. I don't think we'll be able to deal with anything. If he establishes the Hoopa, I'm just gonna go ahead and concede. He doesn't, in fact, establish the Hoopa. He benches the Oddish and says, okay, if you don't have Guzma energy, then I win, right? If I do top deck greens or Guzma or a Custom Catcher, so I have quite a few outs, or even Duststone, I might be able to just KO that Oddish and mess with my opponent. I do find the greens, which is insanely nice. Definitely gonna grab Custom Catcher, definitely gonna grab the Duststone, I believe. And my opponent making a big mistake, I would say, by not just establishing a Hoopa. I guess he doesn't necessarily know the contents of my deck yet, right? But he should be finding out sometime soon. I will go ahead and attach. I will go ahead and play the double Custom Catcher. And I will go ahead and blow up my Mismagius, draw an extra 3 cards this turn at the cost of a prize card. Not the biggest of deals. I do find a Pokegear. But what we're going to do is we're going to Beast Game for the KO on the 50 HP Oddish, which you guys very correctly pointed out that these decks should be running the 60 HP Oddish, right? There's no reason not to be running the 60 HP Oddish. My opponent goes for a Nest Ball, immediately sets up a Hoopa, and that's where I'm going to concede. So I can never do anything to the Hoopa, right? And I can never deck my opponent out because he will have an own hand. So a lot of big auto losses for this deck. Finding something, like finding space for a non-GX grass type attacker, not difficult at all, but other than the new Kartana, the Beast Kartana, I don't see how exactly you could deal with an onslaught of Hoopas, right? Okay. So still waiting for an opponent to show up. Okay. So I will get to go first. And not the best start by any means. You know, not even close to being a good start, I would say. Because we don't have a draw support and we have the Mismagius, not the Mischievous, so that we could evolve with the Duststone and actually draw cards. And my opponent just immediately benches 3 Pokemon. This is a Zapdos deck, presumably a decent matchup, as long as I'm able to find other stuff, because I have so much HP. I have Life Force to heal, I have Acerola. I'm not going to be establishing too many energies. The damage spread will get to my opponent at some point. I have Beast Game GX, so on paper a solid matchup. With this hand, it's looking a bit dicey, but hopefully we can top deck out of this and it becomes a more solid game. Okay, so we do see the escape board, we do see the energy Loto. We do see the Stellar Wish. 260 HP is still pretty difficult for Zapdos to deal with, but eventually they can get there. Eventually they can get there. Turn 1 Lily, very nice. Already double escape rope and, escape board and choice, and no energy on the previous hand. There's the energy. Oh wait, what? And then my opponent choosing not to. Huh? My opponent choosing not to retreat an attack for whatever reason. I have no idea what happened there. I have no idea what just happened there and why my opponent did not actually choose to retreat. Ericas for 1 seems like a solid plan. There's a retreat. Finally, that could generally be the second time my opponent attacked me. Okay, so my opponent does have his own Buzzwole Pheromosa here. Pretty scary looking, not gonna lie. Although 30 damage, not that big a deal. Builds Analysis does find me Pokegear and Builds Analysis. I'm hoping Pokegear can find me Green Surge, and then I can Lieutenant Surges plus Greens plus Acerola. Yeah, that would actually be the dream. And I think I'm just gonna KO this Zapdos here. I don't see any reason why not to do that. Elegant Soul will be much weaker next turn. However, we should be able to just scoop up that Buzzwole Pheromosa thanks to our Bill's top deck. So we're in a decent spot. Yeah, we're in a decent spot. We see the Electro Power. We see the double Electro Power. But it does need triple, however, or he needs Coco Prism and Coco GX to get a KO on us, which I wouldn't put it past him. There's one of the two. There is indeed one of the two. We might just be done here. Buzzwole and Guzma. I don't understand why my opponent did not attack me on that first turn, but actually goes for the Dene. So had Lightning, Ericas, and Guzma. Off of 6 brand new cards plus potentially another Stellar Wish. I don't foresee us being able to pull this off. The Dene GX in Zapdos Beast seems like a really bad call though. Really bad call. There's a Coco. There is a Coco. Another Rainbow Energy could also do it for my opponent, but the spread of the energy does showcase Coco GX. But wait, what? Grabs the Choice Band. Okay, now he has knockout with Zapdos. But what? Why would you? What? Why would you Dance of the Ancients before you retreat? That makes absolutely no sense, opponent. Absolutely no sense. There's a Nest Ball. What? Really awful sequencing by my opponent. Truly awful sequencing by my opponent. Yeah, honestly, I mean, is he reading Coco GX to see if Nest Ball gets it activated? No, he decides to fail the Nest Ball, interestingly enough. And then will Escape Rope into Buzzwole Pheromosa to hit for 60 damage. And he had the Beast Energy. If my opponent had just Dance of the Ancients into Pheromosa and Buzzwole, he would have won immediately. I have no idea what my opponent just did here, but I mean, I'll take it. Okay, so I'm gonna Dust Zone into Miss Magus. If I can... No, I can never get a KO on this guy, right? Yeah, I can never get a KO, even by resetting the Elegant Soul, which means he can't either, right? Which means he can't either. So I'm gonna Pokegear first. I'll grab the Erikas, I guess. Erikas is decent, right? One... No, I can only play one card. Well, I can still Acerola though, it's fine. I can still Acerola and be completely fine here. That was honestly awful by my opponent. There's just no other way to describe it. That was just incredibly, incredibly awful. Why can't I Mysterious Message? What? because I can't draw any cards. Oh, well that's not good. Well, that is not good at all. Not the end of the world, but also not good. There's a Zapdos. I really don't get my opponent. He could have won last turn. He genuinely could have simply won last turn if he had wanted to. The fact that he has Beast Energy and Choice Band though means that 30 damage is actually really bad for us here. Really, really bad for us. Because then he can attach an Elegant Soul for a KO next turn. Yeah, all he does is Jet Punch. We do find a Custom Catcher. I'm not even behind in prizes. So, build analysis. Life Forest is pretty important. Right? Life Forest is pretty important. So this should allow me to be able to retreat. Right? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the Zapdos, I guess. Right? And then I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I am going to go ahead and attach. And then I will go ahead and use Mysterious Message, draw an extra 2 cards. Now we're tied in prizes. And I will definitely heal myself to prevent the Jet Punch, the KO. And I'm gonna go ahead and Jet Punch and pressure a Jirachi. Putting the 30 damage on here doesn't make sense because he can just heal with Life Forest. It'll be interesting to see if he forgets to heal. Right? It'll be interesting to see if he forgets to heal. He immediately heals, so definitely not forgetting. Does he have a switching card? He does have an energy off of the second energy Loto being played. The Life Forest does get replaced, and we see a Thunderous Assault for 10 fabulous damage. Which is still really bad. Yeah, because our hand sucks. I haven't been able to find an S-Ball or a Greens, or another anything really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards in my hand, and I can play 2. That brings me down to 6. I think I just need to start doing that, right? Start thinning. The Dust Stone, not grabbing anything. Now go ahead and Jet Punch and get out. KO that Jirachi. That just makes my hand awkward once again. Why? We're not even losing, so we can't do anything about this. I mean, okay. I've been literally making the worst plays possible. This is just gifting me 2 prizes, right? This is just him gifting me to... Wait, what? What? Oh, okay. There. No, wait, what? Oh, no, yeah, there you go. Ah, the 10 damage matters so much. Ah, I should not have knocked out the Jirachi. Wow. Evan had the win so much earlier, right? So much earlier. And he made all the worst possible plays. Ah, but our awful, awkward draws just didn't let us do anything. But yeah, guys, this deck feels clunky. I'm not a big fan of the deck. And that is the doorbell, so I have to get going. Don't forget to leave a like, guys. It really helps out the channel. I'll see you guys next time with hopefully a more powerful deck. Thank you, guys, and bye-bye.